to page 7 of the prayer book, please. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash, a lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure, white heat, curd-like cloud, O Lobsang Drakpa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit field for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full reign of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense like perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted 3 vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned 8 mundane concerns, made life essential. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Tsongkhapa's essential teaching specially shine forever. Mig Te Chen Rei Zig Dreame Kempe Wang Po Jam Pel Yang Du Pung Ma Lu Jom Se San Wei Dag Gang Chen Ke Pe Su Gen Tsongkhapa Lop San Thra Pe Jabla So Wa Dev. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seed of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted 3 jewels. Thus have I heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness, care, and existence of the 5 aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, great being, how should a child of the lineage strain who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, should look perfectly like this. Subsequently, looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence, 5 aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, that is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, and so forth, up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth, up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the 3 times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Taya ta gate gate paragate parasom gate bodhi soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, great being, is trained in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, gods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the 3 places Dakinis. Taya ta on gate gate paragate parasom gate bodhi soha. Though the power of truth of the exalted 3 jewels speech may all on the side of negativity, such as the 4 Maras, be stopped, may they become non-existent, may they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, shante kuriye soha. 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Saji Peki Jushimeta Tramri Rablingji Nidegampadi Sange Jingdu Meteua Hidra Kokada trindrine jita sampe dulce zinma laza gechuki japawa tu so idam guru rana mandala kam niryata yami Chongde songi chomna la jaju pardu gabzi kepsuchi daki chonyen gepe sonam ki drola penchu sange drupa sho Chongde songi chomna la jaju pardu daki kepsuchi daki chonyen gepe sonam ki drola penchu sange drupa sho Songi chomna la jaju pardu gapti kepsuchi dagi chonyen gepe sonam ki drola penchu sange drupa sho.
Okay, it's a wonderful day. Summer come back, right? Like last couple of days ago, it's pretty cold. Yesterday and today, it's good. Do you guys get ready to jacket? Last week? Anyway, it's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful, we all come together. First we do a little bit meditations, First we're going to meditation, set up the good motivation to, I'm going to do this for, because we're really doing this for benefit for our life, but the motivation is for benefit for, in order to help for others, I need to qualify the quality. Therefore, I'm going to practice. I want to meditation for help for others. Think about that way. It's me. Someone else, or maybe I'm moving here. Oh, anyway, like that. Firstly, when we recite in the Buddha Dharma Sangha autograph which enter enlightened, then what second two verses? Yeah. Now you think about that, this is a good motivation, okay? Think about the meaning of these verses. This is how you set the motivation. Okay, now really you close your eyes, sit you in a much where you're comfortable. Try to bring meditation to a couple minutes, okay? Bring in and bring out, because it makes your mind just more relaxed, more calm. thinking I'm breathing in, then breathing out, your mind focus there, then your mind doesn't destroy others. Okay. Now you can slowly come out. And then today I would like to do also the meditation for the bodhicitta. Okay? Usually we say, I want to benefit all sentient beings, I want to achieve enlightenment. It is sometimes it's hard for us to what's enlightenment, what's Buddhahood. You can just visualization like different place, like different place, like very peaceful place. Visualization, like very colorful, very peaceful place. And there are also very beautiful like houses, like really Buddha's palace, colorful. And there are also all the Bodhisattvas walking around, helping each other. Discussion, how can we help for other beings? Also you can visualization there, like beautiful birds can different sounds, different very good weather. They have nothing, any, like everything that when you hear, what you see, what you hear is all very grateful, peaceful, wonderful. Visualization like this, like Buddhahood. What they're doing, they're working for others. They're talking for how we can help for others. Visualization like that. Then you think, okay, I want to become like that place. In order to for help others, that's a good place. I want to be like that place. I want to report that place. I want to achieve that place. Try to very strong think about that. I wish I would become like that place. Also, you can visualization around you, all other beings have the sorrows, growth, suffering, problems. But the other place without everything is perfect. There's no complaint. Any kind of environment, beautiful sounds. You see beautiful colors. Everything is perfect. Okay, now when you're ready, you can come out. Okay. This is like different way how to meditation for bodhicitta. Usually we say, okay, I want to achieve enlightenment for all benefit other sentient beings. If that means sometimes you have not idea what's Buddhahood, what it looks like something you can like visualization, some like different place, everything's like colorful, beautiful, beautiful sound. This sound, smell, hear, everything's like perfect. It will be pure, very pure. What's it? Pure, 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 pure. Say how to say. Very pure, pure. Okay. Gotta yet the magwa mebasana. Impure. There's nothing impure. Pure, impure. It's hard. Pure. You hear? Because we always see, we hear, we always impure things. Now Buddhahood, everything is pure, pure. Did I say correct? Pure, 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 pure. Maybe more words. Like that, when you like think about like that kind, something to picture your mind. Otherwise, it's okay. I want to be, to enlightenment for other benefit for other sentient beings. Then maybe you lost luck in your mind. Okay, what's that? If you something like that place, picture that you're very happy, want to go there. Same as when you hear some movies. Are you guys go to watch movies? They say, wow, some movie. They say, okay, I want to go there. Because you hear people say, this movie is very good. Like that. If you something pictures of Buddhahood means like, usually when we describe for Tantra, they talk about the, Buddha's palace, like that. But when we Sutra, we don't really describe Buddhahood, what kind. It's like that, you can see like picture, very beautiful, colorful, everything's like perfect, no complaints. Also, they're all like walking around, talking, play, like everything's perfect, beautiful sound. What they're working for, okay, how can we help for other beings, like working for that. Then you say other places like around us, for everything like unpure, always complain, always problem, always, running things, blocking things, like unpure. Then you say, okay, I don't want to stay here. I don't want them to stay here. I want to, for everyone to go up there. Like, you can think about like that, but it's maybe a little bit easy or better to think about some bodhicitta way. Okay, now we really talk about bodhicitta this section. We didn't go any text to do last week, I think today we really go through a couple pages, okay? Today is a dark and Joe Chen-mo or Lam-rim, but that Jangchub to their was.
So, the part of the great scope is based on bodhicitta, right?
That in the Chen to Tenba, to Losho that Tenba.
So let's read that part. So we have already gone through those teachings on the medium scope and small scope, right? So for Mahayana practitioner, the actual practice is the practice of the great scope, right? So the practice of the small scope and the medium scope becomes like preliminary to prepare for the actual practice of the Mahayana. So when you like eating food in the restaurant, you have the actual dish and then you have the appetizer. So the small scope and the medium scopes are like an appetizer.
Especially Western people with this appetizer.
So for the Westerners, it's like must, right? You have to have appetizer before you have the actual food. So in Tibetan tradition, we don't have that. We just go into, right into the actual food. There's no appetizer at the beginning and dessert and at the end. So these are the practice of the small scope and the medium scope are the preliminary practice for the practice of the great scope. So okay, let's read this. It's in the outline 322. Right? It's the training the mind in the great scope stages of the path. This has three headings. The teachings that the development of bodhicitta is the sole gateway to the Mahayana, the teaching it is benefits as well, how to develop bodhicitta, how to set about training yourself after the development of bodhicitta. Teaching that the development of bodhicitta is the sole gateway to Mahayana, and teaching its benefits as well. In the above sections dealing with all the small and medium scopes, you had to be motivated by renunciation. When you put your effort principally into the three high trainings, you will achieve merely a state of liberation for yourself, merely samsara. This is not good enough. You will be of only partial benefit to yourself and others because you will not have abandoned all that has to be abandoned or achieved every goal quality. Later you will have to enter the Mahayana at its most basic level. As it says in the short Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, forsake forever the two vehicles, fita for beneath the world, and enter the compassion vehicle taught by the victorious stage, whose very nature smacks of benefits for others. As Geshe Potawa said, don't carry your load across the river twice, enter the Mahayana at outset. It would be like having to cross the same river twice, but there is more. Our hearts experience such inconceivable bliss when they are absorbed in their sphere of peace that they stay in that absorption for many eons and have no wish ever to leave it. Meanwhile, someone who had been living in hell might achieve an optimum human rebirth, enter the Mahayana path, and take about the same amount of time to achieve enlightenment. Thus, these arhats set themselves at a great distance from Buddhahood. Suppose someone had studied the Mahayana, developed a prosperity of it, but then born in hell because of developing wrong view. Such a person will be enlightened quicker than anyone of Mahayana says who had entered the Hinayana path and achieved arhatship. It is therefore better to be of the former type. For example, when the Sravaka Kashyapa was giving teaching on Hinayana Dharma, there were 60 monks who would gain arahantship, but Manjushri had already gone to the Dharma. This teaching proved too much for them, and they developed wrong views, thus taking rebirth in hell. Kashyapa asked Buddha, our teacher, for some explanation. And Buddha said, that was a skillful means of Manjushri, such an excellent teaching. In the same way, when the Buddha arose from Asvagas and Pratyeka Buddha, Arhat, from their blissful absorption and forced them into the Mahayana, these Arhats will not try hard to develop such qualities as bodhicitta in their mind stream because of their great familiarity with the absorption in the taste of bliss. Even when it's hard for them to feel compassion and so on, because they have already been liberated from their own suffering. The two major disciples of Buddha, Shariputra and Mangalayana, said, the teacher had taught both the Mahayana and its result. These are most wondrous, but we are like wood already consumed by the fire. We could not have done more. But note, this does not really apply to people like Arya Shariputra, because there were emanations of Buddhas taking the form of Saravakas. It is said that this statement refers to more typical Saravakas, who do have these great hindrances to enlightenment. Hence, when they have gained some insight into specialization, we must then definitely enter the Mahayana path and train mind according to the part of the path we share with the medium scope expressly, so as to develop renunciation in our mind stream, not actually to treat. Training in bodhicitta in accordance with the great scope section is the main body of the path. The small and medium scopes are an introduction, a supplement to the general tasks of a bodhisattva. Since the first things in the path of the great scope is to rejoice, the oral tradition deals first with the benefits of bodhicitta. What follows is according to the way in which these benefits are discussed in Manjushri's own words. I will speak about these benefits under 10 headings. Teaching that our only way to enter the Mahayana is to develop bodhicitta. You will gain the name child of the victorious, the outshine Saravakas and Pratyeka Buddha. You become a supreme object of offerings. You amass enormous accumulation of merit with ease. You rapidly purify sins and obscuration. You accomplish whatever you wish. You are not bothered by harm or hindrances. So soon with the entire path and its levels, you become fertile to every happiness for other beings.
Okay, that's good. Okay? Ani, we understand this? Do you understand? Do you have any questions there? 간지에 태워진 안에 대진인 죽다 대진인 죽고 안에 세제 코나다 태워 침벌은 주베 고데 아니 고 마무간데 요는 샘지 코나데서 zemba 고치니 요 말에서 동도.
So it's talking about the importance of entering into the Mahayana path through developing bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is the only gateway to enter into the Mahayana path. It's like the sole gateway to the Mahayana, right?
Bena kamba dinam duela go mambo yores dinam duela. Inayang. Bena sedan ani ji lamran jube go mambo yo inayang. Ani dinangi ani tewachimulan jube go gochi matoyo mare gochi konares.
So like in this house you have many doors, to enter into, many, like more than one, right? So and then there's many paths and many doors, to enter into the path. But to enter into the Mahayana path, there's only one door, and that's bodhicitta.
Okay, they have no images door. Okay, and they say konares. Ta dona tindi senjaran ta Jangchub sem lagyo re. Tindi Jangchub sem kani jego tseres. And the Jangchub sem jeje bukara and the manyamachine and the labja kanji the labko re and subject tambo sumung to us.
And so, so it's talking about the first three headings, right? So teaching that the development of bodhicitta is the sole gateway to the Mahayana vehicle, and teaching its benefit as well. and how to develop bodhicitta, and how to set about training yourself after the development of bodhicitta. So it's explained in these three main headings.
다 샹적고 심 간디죠 당긴간도 죽변다고 샤바치 신금라고 소소고 되는 상로지 이겠다. 다 소소 될어야 견도고로 드니지고로 상무당 되고 그래서.
And so how do you generate bodhicitta, right? So the mind of enlightenment, the wish to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So one way is, like I explained earlier, by visualizing the pure lens of the Buddha, and developing the wish, to be born there. So that's that way, you that's like a positive way, to to inspire yourself, to be born in the pure land of Buddha by becoming Buddha.
대단한 만두 띵을 몸부쳐다 가르쳐 띵해라야 아니 제వ 충원된 등이 값서 아니 년주거 삼백 끝내라니 아니 다 나왔음라 냠서 매배 아니 라니 조지가 아니 얌낭야 송어 동안에 타와 야만은 고발에 아니 타야 된데 담빙도 쇼요레스 제వ 충원된 등이 값거.
And so in the medium and the small scope path, you developed the renunciation, right? The wish to be free from the cycle existence through the practice of the three trainings, and then through that, most of us, we, just had a wish, to be free from the sufferings of the lower realms, or just, or to be free from the cycle existence for ourselves alone, mainly,
다 드네도 와이나 베낭 안도 베나 랍탄도 원도 와이나 베나 high school 톰에서도 자기 그래서.
And so that we can compare that, with the with the graduation, from high school only.
아니 다 되게 로종 되게 봐. 다 로종 때문에 다나 로종만 붙여야 돼. 스페인어 그래서.
So he's saying that, is it good enough? If you're graduated from high school, is that good enough, or you still have to study more? There's a lot more to study, right? Even after that.
근데 배도 대든지 무초대에서 방자 탐주 마방 토자 이대 탐주 토에 막 가지나 되게 초월나 어디 되게 말이 그냥 고발에 타바도 되게 말해. 주부다나 방자 차상 빠토요 말이 엔데 토자간가 토요 말해서.
So merely being free from cycle existence is not sufficient, because you have not abandoned everything that has to be abandoned, and you have not achieved, everything that has to be achieved. So there's so much more, to abandon, and there's so many more qualities to be achieved.
아니 란도도 제노 가래듬나 인체와다 따때 좀 쉬좀 더 말해서.
And also you are kind of limited, in performing the deeds, for yourself or others.
제다 빼
So like if you have only a high school diploma, then you only can have a job, according to that. You will not have a higher job, than that, right? And so if you have only freed yourself, from cycle existence, then you have not accomplished, the purpose of yourself or the purpose of others. And so what do we have to do? Is that we have to enter, into the Mahayana vehicle. And so just like it is quoted by Pabonka Rinpoche, from the short professional wisdom sutra, and from Geshe Potawa, right?
아니 지때 간제 가르스나다 간제 아니 지때 돈도들한 틈에비 터와 이보전에 빠져서나 간제 수주고 끊는 것도 아니 년도고 대화다 나제게 도봐 야마나 아니 녀송도 동안도 고행에 녀송도 동안다 고외동 들이 토야게 제도 끊는 대케니 아니 수족이 간제 람도 토야게 배도 지야요 말했을 때잖아. 아니 지나다 날람과처럼 럽도 말해 담보네 대화 친구 쌤제 탐정도 조장 도배치들 남도 공고 그래서 단단히 고거를 쓰니마.
So in these verses, a quote from the short professional wisdom sutra and from Geshe Potawa, it is saying that it's not whatever practice you do, you should not aim it just to free yourself from the lower realms, or from psychic existence. You should aim it that all from the beginning. You should aim it all to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings.
Okay. 아니는 배차가 되네. 칠은 남주 밑함아지 칠파 개듭 찍고는 개듭은 지난된 저한테 칠 개듭 니
So because if you work hard to achieve the the goal of the Hinayana, the path, then when you achieve that, and then you have to come back again, and then enter into the Mahayana path, and so it will be like it will become going on and trying to cross the river, same river, twice. So people will usually just cross in once, right? But then you go all the way there, and then come back again, and then you go again, like this. It will become like that.
high school high school college
And so, like when you study, just saying that, like when you study, you don't just set up motivation, thinking that I'm just going to finish the high school, and then that's it, and then I will no longer study like that. Not thinking like that, but rather thinking, even after high school, I will go, to college and study more.
Okay. What in the Takulong show you? The Tandilmalando, Nina Dajum compose Tova Yena, and Telea Nyambashan, and Dajum be Compara Nyambashan, and Lodo Kawa mobile to dedicated was.
And so, it makes a big difference, in the way you make where you set the motivation at the beginning. So here it mentioned right about what's the problem, what happens if you achieve state of arhatships of the Saravakas or Pratyeka Buddhas. Then you become free from cycle extent. You no longer have sufferings, and you're absorbed in that bliss of liberation, and you stay there for eons and eons.
And tell you go on the Pena, Nyawala Chit, and Yanjo Yapina, and Lamne, and the Sanjo Kombatobe. Take to the gold, you don't go there.
So how long does it take, for our arhat, of the hearers and the salty realizers to achieve enlightenment? It's the same amount as ordinary person who have, fallen into the hell, gone through all that time, spent all that time in the hell, and then, be born up in the human rebirth, and then start practice Dharma and enter the Mahayana path. So how long it will take for that person? That much, time it will take, for the hearers and salty realizers, arhats, to achieve state of full enlightenment.
What is that?
And so what makes that happen, is our motivation at the beginning.
Okay. And the Sanji Kovalata, Sanji Komotola Pan Yarin Yando.
So it delays, your time, to achieve enlightenment.
And the teaching you Tolon, the Pachaji said, and the Lotachi, and the Nyawachi, and the Tene Nyawachevana, and the Sanji Kombatobalan Janshi Chevana, teaching Chin Temeti Lam to shoot the Dachumba Tobala, teaching the solemnly Pacha Jenjik, Lotachi de Nyawachi, and then Sanjawa Nyawate, Zoma, Ale Penat Temet Dachumba the Ya and the Sanjo Kombatoy Toya down, and the teaching Solombaji, and the Tola Negata, and the teaching Lalap, and the Lotachi in Solachi. Then Yanjoya and the Lamla Shua, Jom Jojina, Tanda, teacher Tolomba, and the Man Yamching, and Sola Chichi, and the Yanjoya and the Lamla Shuani, and the thing Jogos and
So also it mentioned here, right, about it says thus in the arhats set themselves at a great distance, from Buddhahood. Suppose someone had studied the Mahayana, developed a propensity for it, but being reborn in hell because of developing wrong view, such a person would be enlightened quicker than anyone of Mahayana propensity who had entered the Mahayana path and achieved arhatship.
And the person, and Ningama into Resuchimboya, and that Timothy choose on the Dachumba and the Truchelaya, and that Dachumba come top Chibikalaya, and Jambe Yongalapan, and Tawachimbu choose on what is. And the Tesongala and the Kondo and Ninto Resungo Somada, and Jambe so many Madaba, the
Tomsare.
Dachumba Tobro chain. Yeah, Dachumba Tobji, and that Dachumba Tobjira, Tobji Gelong Truchella and Jang and the Penny. The Tobro chairs. Tegal and Jambe and the Penny, and the Tawachimbuchi, and the Consul Lola Mashon there. And the Lola Mashon.
So here it says, for example, when the Saravaka Kashyapa was giving teaching on the Hinayana Dharma, there were 60 monks who would have gained arhatship, right? So not gained yet, but who would have gained, almost maybe about to gain. But then Menjishi had already gone to them and taught them Mahayana Dharma, this teaching proved too much for them, and they developed wrong view, thus taking rebirth in hell. So anyway, so they even after they are born in the hell realm, and then after they're free from the hell, and when they start to practice Dharma and enter into Mahayana path, they will achieve enlightenment faster than the arhats and all the heroes and social others.
Tombalaya, Sanjay Tombala Geshe Tenley, the Cardinal Riversina, then Jambayanga Tamkava Chevari, Cardinal, Khensur, Janaga, Dabjumbe, Comfort Topchuba, Bayana, Tene Lani and the Sanjay Combatavado, Khensur, telling us on Jene, Anjoyatoni, Tinga, and Jores.
So when Kashyapa asked Buddha, then the Buddha explained, that was the skillful means of magicianry, to give such an excellent teaching to them, because if they had become arhat, they would be absorbed in the bliss of liberation for so long that it would have taken longer for them to achieve enlightenment than they develop them developing the wrong view, falling into the hell realm, coming out of there, and then gaining enlightenment. So you have no sufferings. You're free from all the sufferings, and you're in bliss of liberation, right? From all the sufferings, and so you'll remain in that. There's nothing to complain about. So you'll remain there, for eons and eons. And even if they come out of that bliss, full absorption, it will take them. So like Buddhas will arouse them from the state of the bliss of full absorption, and even when they come out of that, because they are so familiar with that, they're so used to being so happy, like then making them to enter into the path, do the practice, work hard, becomes very difficult for them. So that way even also takes a long time. So so it is said they gave the example of the two most close disciples of Buddha, like Shariputra and Mangalyana. So if it happens to even beings like them, then what need to say about us? And so, for us to enter into the Mahayana path, we have to develop that renunciation conjoined with the bodhicitta. And so, like the moment we attempt to generate renunciation, when we're about to generate renunciation, then immediately, generate Mahayana, bodhicitta with that too, So that way, then you enter into the Mahayana path instead of entering into the Hinayana path. So you don't enter into the Hinayana path, you enter into the Mahayana path. So a Mahayana path is the actual path that you should engage in practice. The practice of the small scope and the medium scope are just like a preliminary practice, for entering or for developing the Mahayana or the great scope path. And so what we're doing now is no use at all. So most of the time, our motivation happens to be, may I be happy, may I be successful, may I have no suffering, may I have no problem, like that, right? So when we do something with that kind of motivation, is it of any use or not? And so here also, it is emphasizing on the importance of motivation. Whatever we do, it's very important to have a proper motivation.
다 간에 그거는 배나 가도 배나 차차가 요래 저거 피가 요래 아니 간에 제가 요래 로수 제가 요래 와서.
So we do all these kind of practices like making prostrations, making offerings, doing studies, doing meditations and so forth, right?
다 대체배 갈라야 다 나도 남주직 제 제가라 간제 아 가지 소소가 걔네들 제고 그래 간제 사지고 다 소소가 샤war람로 어떻게 제가 요래 돼. 제가 갈라 배나 가나야 동안도 오면도 와서 대나지 내도 내가 쓰지요 말해서 데레다 샘제 탐주 동안에 타와 대와 토야게 체다 근데 지금 인상은 건드기 어려서.
And so when we do these kind of practices, always, even so maybe after some time we might get used to it, and then it becomes easier. But it's good to always set a motivation thinking. Just like I myself don't want to go through any sufferings, others are same in not wanting to go through any sufferings. So in order for myself and for all beings to be free from the sufferings, I'm going to do this practice. I'm going to make offerings. I'm going to make prostrations and so forth.
대체와나 안에 딱 끊어 뒤가 그 소소라 팽겨다 뒤 슈체라네 아니 이잖아 팽겨다 진백에서 뭐 슈체 못 지게 그래서.
And so so with that motivation, then it will benefit ourselves. That will benefit ourselves, and that will benefit others, because then we are developing a wish to benefit others, right? We're developing wish to benefit others, and that way we will not harm others, and so we are benefiting others in that.
배나 남주지랑 연주제거로 와서 연주.
So when we develop renunciation in our mind,
연주는 다 같은 일로 와서.
so the renunciation is a wish to achieve liberation, right?
다 소소 도부제거로 와서.
So liberation is for oneself, right?
딱 가르치는나 콘솔라 펜 토야게 체데 나랑 게 다 도고 넣었습니다. 이거 놓기고 그래서.
So in order to benefit others, like when I say conjoined bodhicitta, in order to benefit others, I have to achieve liberation. So for that, I'm going to do this.
배나 지나서 미치게 배나 미샤지 땅에 밀레 펜토신 다 쇼지 다 펜토신 람들 간지 미샤지 땅에 땅 토야게 도 소소 된디기 연대의 용와라 내가 제와라 소소 대제하게 다 연대 니박한 거 고여러 봤어.
And for someone to do a surgery on you, right? Have to have all the qualities, right? Qualifications, the knowledge, and the power or the ability, all these things. You need that to be able to do that, right?
진짜다 나도 개개게 배나 나 먹어봐나 개개 지금나 개개의 용와라 용체다 안 담보 소소 로존 차다 고도 와.
And so, just like that, in order to become a teacher, same way, like in order to become teacher, you have to have all the qualifications to be a teacher, right?
오케이. 와다 대치 버려 드는데 가지 끊어도 가디나 야고 싶나 많은 특고 지져봐나 이제나 평하게 체다 배나 소소 선배지 와면 체대 저리 am terrible 배나 mood 배나 소소 선배지 와면 봐지나 다 만진데 봐나 내가 내가 스질을 모양 쇼 선배지나 아니 되게 그랬어.
So any practice you do, like even a single recitation of mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, so you do, you should always think of doing it for the benefit of others. So usually, why do we do that? I say, I don't feel happy. Maybe I should do some mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. And then at the same time, when you're doing that for yourself, or just like I don't feel happy, and may all other beings, feel not unhappy. So for that, I'm going to recite this mantra. If you think like that, then that becomes more beneficial.
아니 나 대리가 선배지 오면 다 대리나 전에 양 오면 상원에 스타트 슈팅 봐야지. 다 같이 곰전나 팽인도 되면서 좀 상담을. 대단 된다고 스질라 모양 쇼 섬내는 샤셔 섬 겁나 되게 그랬어.
So if you say, I feel very terrible today, I don't feel happy, maybe I should do some meditation. And at the same time, I say, may any other beings not have this kind of feeling as well. If you that thought, do the meditation.
It's easy, right? Right? Otherwise, how can we do? Why? I'm not doing the meditation. I'm not doing this anything. They go just bana, tambo bana karo. Ranga to the some melamte among the gente to karamesa Hiroshina. Tambo suzuka dunga, suzuka can go this. Then they ngaran then taking yam nyos experience. They done that was such a man was shows on that not to change what it was.
First, you have to think about your own suffering, right? If you can't think about your own suffering, you won't be able to think about other sufferings. Just like Shantideva said in his Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life. So if you can't think about yourself in the dream, then there's no way you can think about others, in actual life. So therefore, always start with thinking about one's own suffering, and then you apply that same example on others. Just like me, they don't want to go through that. They don't want to go through that suffering also. So may they not, go through this kind of sufferings. Now, for that reason, I'm going to do this practice like that.
Pena pugu chenyo yungi amachigya pugu pa ta pugu chebe ka wakanga da pugu chabe ka wakanga da ta kaji pugula pugu tichi yapo yomanda de semgu kange te da pugu chenyo mewa palani pala da ama pugu chege yo pugu kani yo hakon tongo yo ina tig dunga semgu so shegona ami shewonji pala de sheto mares kana ama da nyamyoran shege yo pali pa mi to nende de saran de shege yo.
So it's just like experiencing the suffering and just seeing someone experience the suffering. Right? So that's a big difference. Like a mother who goes through the suffering of giving birth, have more experience of the suffering than the father who sees the wife or the mother going through the sufferings.
Okay, it's right like that, right? Then you the sosola kangi dunga tiga nyamnyo tiga ani. Experience Johnny Adan Dedan such a mile show some
So when you go through that experience of the suffering yourself and then you apply that to others, then it becomes more strong. But if you haven't gone through that suffering, you just say, may they be free from that suffering, then it's not that strong because you haven't experienced that. You don't know exactly how much suffering it is. So like you see squirrels running around looking for food, right, outside. And if you say, oh, may squirrels be free from suffering, you don't have that much of feeling.
Right? Oh, it's cute. Oh, they come with cross people. Right? We just feel like that. We don't. But, okay, you go to that place, okay. If I am that situation, okay, then, okay, where I go to sleep? Where I got food? Who going to beat me? Where I going to sleep tonight? Like example, then the weather rain, then snow come, then cold. Then you usually go into the school's body. Wow, really, that's serious. Right? It's different, right? Because if you think about that way, then much easy. Otherwise, we just, I wish they have to fit. We don't have any. Then the ni jo tong dong, ni jo, kind of
You instead of having compassion for them, you even find more attractive, right? They're so cute like that.
Parrots.
Parrots.
The pet store, do you know pet store? That one metaphor. We can buy the pets. Yeah.
Pet store.
Yeah, the metaphor, the one. How is it?
Parrots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Petco. Petco.
Yeah. Then I don't think I need you with all this good color, very beautiful sounds.
So you don't feel compassion for them. You see them when you say, oh, they're so nice, so cute. You only like kind of attachment, to them, to have for yourself, but not really, think about about them, being free from suffering, right?
Right. Like also the fishes, so many different color fishes. We say, wow, this is a nice fish. Wow, beautiful. They're just running. We don't have any compassion. Do you have? I don't think so, right? She said, oh, beautiful. Wow, so nice. That thing on the Georgia. So thick,
So you exchange, yourself, with them, be in that place, in that small cage, in that small tank. You're just going round and round, and see how you feel, like that, and then see what do you feel. Then you'll have to really get a feeling for them.
Okay. Yes.
So I have two things. The first thing is, my first question is, why do the Theravadan monks study their whole lives if they don't practice bodhicitta? That's number one. And then number two is, I was watching a show last night on National Geographic talking about the suffering of animals.
Yeah.
And like they were talking about deer ticks, like the little ticks, you know what a tick is?
Mm-hmm. the
They
insects.
suck your blood.
Yeah.
They get all big and fat.
Yeah.
So these animals, like little mouse, have like 50 or 60 ticks on them. All like every mouse. If you were to pull a mouse out of the wild right now, they'd have ticks on them.
Yeah.
Deers have thousands of ticks
Yeah.
on their ears and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Even the tigers and lions, they get that. That's why they're always like.
yeah, and they can't get it off. Like they
Yeah.
can't. They'll never be able to get all those things. You know. So I don't know. That was just kind of my thought.
Yeah, this is so true. You know, when
Do
the,
it 동안 치거라 먼저 너
Yeah.
첨부기 충분사 충주 뭐부기 첨부사 사대.
yeah, exactly. In Tibetan, you know, there also shika, semje pakpa the shani bara mutter there's mutter. They go to mother mutter ya. Kungan de take sa, and sha jaba cha ya lana and mutter should turn over the good. Now they don't matter.
So in Tibet also they have this
Yucks.
the kind of I don't know germs or kind of insect that goes into the body of the yaks, you know, between the skin and the flesh.
Yeah,
And so
between
it goes there, and then during the springtime, yeah, and then in the summertime when they become big, and then they come out, you know, so they don't stay.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
You
What's
don't think about any of that stuff when you're thinking about animals. You don't think about any of that.
no.
I don't at least. But
Yeah, me either.
and then the second thing is the Theravadan monks. Why do they spend their whole lives studying when they don't practice bodhicitta?
제자 대다 점당으로 다녀왔어. 아니 소소 다쯤에 공부 토와이나 다 되긴 되게 요래서 가지. 고발을 타는 되게 됐어. 다 소소 따와 그냥 갔다도 들어왔어.
So that's the individual's motivation, the way they set the motivation. Just like say somebody say, oh, I want to just finish high school. That's all I want. You know, I don't care about it. And then I'll just do some kind of job and then spend my life like that. Or somebody says, well, I want to do some college. You know, I want to go to college and get a bachelor. That's good enough. You know, and or some say, no, that's not good. I want to do a master's. I want to go to PhD, like that. You know, so different people have a different motivation, right? So, and some people, like when we compare with ourselves, you know, with the the Theravadan monks, I mean Theravadan practitioners who have entered into the Theravadan vehicle, and they're much better, right? They have very much stronger renunciation, which we don't have, and they have the practice of the three trainings, all these things. So they're much better. So in that way, they're good. So there's some people can be, oh, I'm satisfied with that, you know. And I want myself, mainly myself, you know, to be free from the cyclism, from sufferings. There's, you know, when you think about all these numberless beings, you know, and thinking about leading them to the state of enlightenment, that's like beyond their scope. You know? So that's why they couldn't take it. And not them, but like we couldn't take it, right? So, and then we enter into the Mahayana path.
근데 인자 가서나
근데 더 맞아 말하고 근데 지금 뭐 붙이고.
야, 수단 제일 체계로 받아야 다 태워 전부도 들어와 있나 가가 하고 그러지.
And also, you know, not to take wrong that Theravadan monks, you know, cannot benefit others. They can benefit a lot. Infinite beings. Not a numberless, but, you know, like, not all beings, but infinite beings, you know, that they're saying that like that. So they can benefit others too. So if you become, compared to us now, if you become, you know, arhat, you know, social arhat, you can benefit a lot of beings.
But then you said you had to go. But then if they die, you have to start all over again in order to have the great growth.
That's right, yeah. 되더라.
그 신이 계신 말다. 다 양조야 태워침을 쉬거나 까고 먹으면 그 신이 누구 계신 말다.
싫으면, 나 그 태블라면 쉬고라면 쉬고 보라서.
쉬고 나 상하지월 쉬고 그래서.
Yeah, so if you don't want to gain enlightenment, then you can be there for long.
However,
But if you want to gain enlightenment, you know, if you want to become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings, then yes, you know, you have to enter into the Mahayana path, and that may take a long time.
그런데 그때 곰대라 왔지. 그냥 간도 맨날 내가 곰대한다. 저거는 빽깔에 두고 왔어.
So it's like they're very, you know, used to that, right? Used to being very happy and blissful, you know. And then if you are told to do something different, you know, then it will take, like, same with us, like when we're used to something, and we have to change our lifestyle in a different way, then it becomes very difficult for us.
Right? Like example, for all of us, 간도라 편나 소소 personality 각각 왔어. 다 제 지난 personality 저걸나 간도 빽깔 갖고 왔어.
So each of us, we have our own personality, right? So different way of thinking, different way of doing. So if somebody says, no, that's not the way you should do a thing, you should do like she does or he does. You know, if you try, you know, like, it will become very difficult. It takes time. I mean, it's not impossible, but it takes time to do that.
근데 이제 두제는 고발한 연바샤데 보갈라 땅고네 빼면도 베탄 간지 강이 주는 요 말씀 매와다 다 상지게 다 단다처럼 간로다 지난게 진대처럼 들어가면 지난 빠자가 빠토요 말다스 단다 히르 플라데요래 아니 semjing 된다고 아니 사제 고는 다 지네 콘도고도 다 리가 다 걸레간의 콘도이라고 말이야.
So just once you become arhat, of the solitary adults or hearers, then you are in that blissful absorption for eons and eons, right? And you are being in there like a sleep, in the sleep, and you will be awakened, aroused, awakened from there by Buddha. So, you have not finished, doing all the practice. You have not finished, abandoning all the obscurations. There are still so many obscurations you have to abandon. So you have to wake up, and do those practices to abandon all that, and achieve the state of Buddhahood. Then they arise from there, and then now they're going back to do the practice. From not doing the practice, or not going through any sufferings, and not having to work hard. Then when they have to do this different thing, then it becomes difficult for them.
아니 근데 로다 찍으랬어. 다 내가 좀 영화를 하면 됐다 전에. 대담에다가 샘제 담비도 산지고 다 대담에서는 고는 로다 찍으랬어.
And then they might even have a wrong view, misconception, thinking that this is not possible. Like leading all sentient beings to the state of full enlightenment, that's not possible. And this is like this doesn't make sense. By thinking that Mahayana doesn't make sense, then they might even develop wrong views.
And then they go to hell, like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, then go to worse. Yeah.
Right from here.
What did he look at you?
They get to change. 다좀 덮어줘. 다좀 맡고 가.
나좀 통나 제여져 여다 이거. 나좀
다좀 덮잖아도 영화 가게.
난 로타 대용 제여져고 여기로. 배경 모여서
그래도 걸 탈사라네. 나좀도 걸 탈사라.
거다 간지 뒤가 오니까지 다 니바사 그래서는 이거 봤어.
So now that's only if you have not achieved arhatship. If you have achieved arhatship, then you are free already. Then you will never be born in the helldom again. Yeah.
임바이나야.
So the practitioners, they were like, who would have achieved arhatship, but because they were given other teaching by Menjushi, and they thought, this is no way, and they developed wrong view before they achieved the arhatship.
Okay.
So exactly how would my practice, if I meditate or if I'm chanting and I have the right motivation, how does that help others?
그렇죠. 되게 관심 생기랬어.
제자분은 지난게 뭐도 제라 펜섬 슈 첨부 요하나 대란 노섬 제 말. 대란 대차서는 고는 용유제 그랬어.
So like I mentioned earlier, so of course, depends on our benefit to others. It's very limited, right? As an ordinary person, when we think about benefiting others, our benefit to others is very limited. But just by not harming them, like when you think about benefiting them, you will not harm them, right? When you think about that, you not think about not harming them, so that you will not harm them. Not harming that self is benefiting.
팀에 대변에 대진의 친한라 제나 때와 슈지 묻지 그랬어.
But that's a very, very small benefit compared to like what benefit the Buddha can bring, or others who have much more can bring. So with that, of course, then you will have a compassion for them, and you will not have attachment or hatred towards them.
다 빼치는 데다 간주 아마 다 빨아 아마라야 수수 뿌글에 제와도 슈치 모시라 그랬어. 그디는 보삼대 그랬어. 담자 뿌글 코노사 그랬어. 나 덴리가 그 뿌글 코노사요 사바단 다 이면 된다면 코노사요 사바 사던다고 말했어. 뿌글에 사바데 뿌글에 야포요 시티스 코노사 그랬어. 셴바디 요디 쿵알 야포치 못 사요 그랬어.
So like parents, they will care about their children, right? They care about their children all the time. They love their children. They care about their children all the time. But sometimes they do get angry towards the children. But it will be not same as getting angry towards others. So when they get angry towards the children, because their children are not doing what they're supposed to do, so they get angry to children and they shout at children, so that children will do the right thing, so that. But when we become angry with other people, no, we're not thinking about benefiting them, not becoming angry to benefit them, but to like harm them, So that anger is very different.
근데 여자 수수질라 파조 때와 가지 좋아하는 수수질 때라 당마 중독도 와서.
So how much more compassion or thought of benefiting others you have, that much less suffering that much less harm you will cause towards them.
다 나지 그 수수 셈바도 다 말로 잘 그래. 수수질 너무 좋은 소리 잘 그래.
And then your mind will be more relaxed also. More less the delusions you have in your mind, more relaxed you will be.
So the right motivation changes.
Exactly.
Definitely.
근데 저랑 알다시 계실래 동안을 잡아줬는데 조선은 알게게 배우고 말지. keki chigma chung yama chung wani wik seki chigma ngo choto samdana ngala kiko yongol ma dina kena ngoni semdi shu kompe to yores.
So like if you think about, Geshe-la and says, oh, may Geshe-la be free from suffering. That might not, make any difference in Geshe-la's life, but that makes big difference in your mind, because that develops, develops in your compassion, your bodhicitta in your mind.
Right? There are a lot of homeless people. Say, I wish all the homeless people free from suffering, they got food. So
when you pray for them like that, for the homeless people, that will not help them to find a food. Will they find food if we say, oh, may they find the food and may they be free from sufferings of not finding food? Will they find the food? Maybe not. But our mind will develop compassion towards them. And with that compassion, we might actually do the things. Without that, we might not be able to do. And then that much more, that much less, thought of harming them, there will be also.
Okay? Then the Shuma, that another love go at the current and the image of Kande. Tambu Pena Jela Sevada, Chamba the Sevada Gomala, think Sajada Pandogos, and the two general social legamare.
So we have, so we have to, like sympathy. You have to have a sympathy, not just, like thinking about them being free from suffering, but thinking about yourself being in that situation, and then thinking for them, to be free from their suffering.
Namju tonle nyamle chair, kala. Pena ane susu yoga ane chik leader sembe deva kang ibata yana parteva. Jeng linga dunga kang ibata susu trillion tane yores. And the regala yat pena mikashi pena jeng dunga trillion kala susu like mune ngamra da ane tswale ga tirechina susu laya mare susu dule ya dundule chik pena melon ra oje susu nikala chulo dala samta tele tumba samta kunduwas chulo ko semje jeng dunga su.
So then there's also this practice called Tonglen, right? So when you do the Tonglen practice, taking and giving, you give your happiness to others and you take their sufferings upon yourself. Of course, you have to be very courageous, to do that, to actually think like that. And some people, they get afraid, oh, if I think like that, will I really get their suffering? If I really get their suffering, will I be able to take it? And then in that case, there's like a method, where you can visualize like a mirror and in front of you, and then instead of you taking it, they're all sufferings of them, absorbed into that mirror here, into the reflection of the mirror there. And then it all become, it all disappears. All the sufferings of this means, you take them in absorb into the mirror, and then it disappears from there. Like that.
Okay, then there is a ta tambo ranti and the dunga sam. Then the gente dunga sam tambo rang susu dunga tam telatande logo. And the gente dunga tande logo. The jene ta karichit kunna sanje koma to go do sam. And the control packages to go do some nada susu chances and chandu.
And so, first think about one's own suffering, and then develop that wish and wanting yourself to be free from suffering. So once we have that, then you can think about others, others suffering, and then may they be free from their suffering. And in order to, I myself will free them from suffering. And in order to do that, I have to achieve enlightenment, for their sake. So therefore, I think I must achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. So that way, you develop the bodhicitta.
What the name of the Tadama and the Shanchu Sam Gola, Tambo Shanchu Sam, the Troche Goris, Shanchu Sam Jevana, the Kazan Kazan Mogan to Tenjuma was.
So you have to develop bodhicitta, first of all, in order to achieve enlightenment. And in order to develop bodhicitta, you have to have an interest, to develop bodhicitta. You have to be inspired. You have to be, you have to have that strong interest. So to have that, you have to see the benefits of bodhicitta. And so just like a businessman, without seeing a profit, will he do a business? Without thinking about the profit, will he do a business?
Just
no,
jump.
Right?
Not right. They try to find, even they're right or wrong, doesn't matter. They try to find something, okay, if I do that, I can get something. Because if you don't see that, it's all, it's dangerous. Today, the Shanchu Sang Pen, Shanchu Sang Niba, Shanchu Sang Jena Kariwa, Hakon, that they go to some court to check it. Tell that Tindiga, Tambo Shanchu Sang Pen, and the Shag Luso, and then my Pen Chatamasong.
And so, so then, of course, in order to have that bodhicitta generated in your mind, you have to see the benefits of bodhicitta. What's the benefit of generating bodhicitta? What happens if you generate bodhicitta, and so forth. So that's why it's talking about the 10 benefits. I mean, Pabonka Rinpoche mentioned about the 10 benefits of generating bodhicitta.
아니 너도 또 람림 침나라 요레스.
So these are all explained in the great Lam-rim.
근데 다 편도 그러나 지나지 샹지고 섬지나 아니 샹지고 섬제나 아니 다 지나지라 그러 대칭은 주고 빠스부 지나라 봐 요레스 대칭 주고 코나 댐바스.
And so if you develop bodhicitta, then you will enter into the Mahayana path. That's the first benefit. That's like holding the passport of the Mahayana path.
오케이. 아니 자심 제베 끼치 다라나 저라 제비세시 미다 그래서 제비세.
And the moment you have developed bodhicitta, then you will hold the name of a child of victors.
근데 자세 샤주 좀 받으러. 아니 연대가 전에 아니 년아서 수준에 더 그래서.
So in terms of the qualification, you will outshine the Sharavakas and Parteka Buddhas.
아니 다 나중에 저랑 아니 초백이 신초도 지만 초밥에다 약속도 지나 차려 그래서.
And also, likewise, you become the supreme object of offerings. You become the best object to make offerings.
근데 부담보단 저 아니 알레지 차이니까 요래. 부담보단 저 아니 알레지 차이니까 요러서.
So people make offerings of the incense, and then you might get allergies from that.
It's not like that.
You might develop allergies from that.
초백이 초밥이든 초밥에서 약속도 차려 그래서.
So you become the supreme object of offerings.
다는 이제 전화 잔적서만 추 개와카지나 소자치 뭐 잔질 몸들이 봐도 그래서.
And then so once you have generated bodhicitta, whatever virtuous actions you engage in, that accumulates merits hundreds, thousands times more than other beings.
다는 이제 소주지 뇨모 탐초도 아니 뇨도 뭐도 줬도 그래서.
And it says you rapidly purify sins and obscurations.
아니 소주 가래 싸움도 된 접거래서 하잖아요.
So all your wishes will be accomplished.
아니 다 나지게 아니 소주라 뇌와다 바치 강투고 말 단단가도 다 뇌와 바치 마모쇼도 와.
So you will be not bothered or inflicted by any harms and hindrances. Right now, as ordinary beings, we have so many harms, so many sickness, disease, and harms we get, right?
아니 람라고 공부하는 데 똑바 좁은이를 제거해서.
And this is you sooner complete the entire path and its levels, like you will have the realizations, of the paths and grounds much quicker.
오케이. 오 텐디가 페이지다 말다. 단디 페이지데 레레 제고 셰거해서 얼마.
Then got us. The 제대로 가도.
아. 그럼니다 또 봐.
아니.
알레. 루비 대체 말레 번주베 시사제와. 다 나중에 다 아니 루비 다 샘지 탐저가 아니 지금 대체 주사가 시사변나. 사자대 가서 로또 선주 제사가 다 대나지 아니 샘지가 대체 주사가 시사다고 제가 잘 그랬어.
Then you become a fertile source of every happiness of other beings. So like if you have a good field with a fertile source, then you will have good crops from there. Right? So just like that, once you have generated bodhicitta, then you become a source for the happiness of all other beings.
어디 들이다 아니 가로 들이 산지에서 산지에서 단지로 산지에서 자와도 안 나타 지나간지 산지에서 장로 산지 리장로 그래서 뭐 뭐요.
So you once you become once you generate bodhicitta, then you fall into the family of the Buddha, and then you become the child of the victors.
어디는 다들 페이지 손도 아니 다 산지에는 갈래 주망하다 아니 페이지들을 네 두스레스.
So here it talks about all these benefits, right? And so the next time we'll go through all these benefits one by one.
어떤데서 내가 담보 페일로 선로타니 대통도 로든 거는 가도 깨도 그래.
So if you think about the benefits of bodhicitta, then you will really think about generating it in your mind.
오케이. 아니 대야로 람림 chen-mo 야로다. 그래서 빠지 집어버는 로고레스다.
And so read this text, the liberation in the palm of your hand, and also read the great Lam-rim by Tsongkhapa. It will help more to understand each other.
어때다 내가 샹치고 생각 페이지에 대한 슌주 내가 담보를 니바로. 페이지가 담보로. 슌주 내가 담보를 아니 샹치고 생각 페이지. 니베는 아니 된되게 샹치 페이지 샘데 가리지 제고요. 아니 스메 가블라야 다 그렇듯이 아니 페이지 아니 샹치쌤 꼴짱짱을 쏜 거였어.
또 류당부 로션은 뭐야?
아,
류당부도 로션은 되고.
내가 담보 주도 로더라.
And also in the Guide to the Buddhist Way of Love, the first chapter, right? Is it the first chapter that explains about the benefit of bodhicitta? Right? So read that also. And this will all and help to understand better.
그래다 피를 계속 요는 가서 대라야 깔리 작으러.
So if you see the benefit, then you will want to work hard to achieve that, right?
But this course 이게 신 도도된 걸로 주대 그래. 가는 그 놀래 때 도도 사연도 그렇고 양파마 주대도 와서.
So like the squirrels, they work very hard, to get the acorns, right? They climb up high trees, to achieve that because they see the benefit there and they go through that hard works.
아니 대상도 변화 쳐다 변화 칠려야 칼라테스 전에 점을 정도 치가. 그 주주대 대라야 쳐도 그 점을 쳐야 되는 그 점을 간 말어 치도.
So like the dog will do the tricks, right? If you give them treats, right? Yeah. So what do you think? The dog likes to do the treat. Dog likes to do the trick, or because it likes the treat? Huh?
Right.
It doesn't like to do the tricks, right? It doesn't like it. It's not thinking that I like to do that or I want to make my owner happy. It like because it says I'm going to do that because I want to have the treat, right?
다른 가서 에코놈 때문에 아니야 때문에 안 그래. 누구한테 냐도. 때문에 아니나 코스 냐치를 갈루도. 야트 뭐 알로자 치도.
So in the aquarium, when you go and see the seals, they do all these tricks, right? They can, play balls with the balls and turn around and jump and all these things. And then the trainer will give them, a small piece of meat or fish, and then they do it again. So what do you think? They are doing all those tricks, because they like to do, or because for the treats? So anyway, if you want that, then you will do all the hard works. So you have to see the benefits.
그래서 가서 샹접 생각 해 샹접 생각 니바 계산해서 안 된거는 검고도는 나도 깔아야 도그러 와서.
So if you see the the benefits of the bodhicitta, why it is so important and how beneficial it is, then you will develop that wish to develop bodhicitta.
배는 내나서도 소소 가르삼는 접근해서 랍도 와서. 나도 가르삼는 접근도 와서. 마사마자 현도용도 와.
So just like it says, all your wishes will be accomplished, right? So once you are bodhicitta. So right now, none of our wishes get accomplished, right? So we want to have this one, that we don't get any of those.
그래다 가디나 뇌와다 바치 투만 가도 가디나 뇌와 직 잠도 오잖아 요것도 와서.
And then we will not be bothered by any harms or hindrances, right? And once you bodhicitta, that's a big benefit, right? Because right now we are always something going something wrong going on in our life or in our health all the time, right?
그래다 가서 민 가오이라 가서 가디나 미 땀다 녀다 가서 가디 가오러 와서. 아니 자세심이 미 도그레스 자베세시.
And then of course we are so fond of having good names, right? Big names, fames, reputation, fames. So how will we feel if we are known as Victor's son, right? The child of a Victor's.
그래다 변나 나바 산지 오셨나 추고 송당 담보 레오드 시그레스 마치 배는 무도지 나 담보 남제 되네지 남제 시그데 안 대자 레오텔 쪼야겠지 된디가 로야 보지는 알데 고도 우선에 아니 무슨 주쳐도 바로로 와서.
So in these teachings it explains about the benefits first, and then then you enter into that path. So if you see that benefit and then you feel I want to have that, you develop that joy of having that, and then you will develop it. So that's why also in the ornament of clear realization, Buddha Maitreya first explained the result, the know of all aspect. So once you know the know of all aspects, if I have that, I will have this and that, all these benefits. Then of course, then after that, I say, okay, in order to achieve that, what do you have to do? Then it explains about the know of the path, know of basis, and so forth.
그래서 조속하다 남베 가든 동아자제 시에도 야치오 시험도 되기도 했어.
So do you sometimes have feeling that Buddhism only explains about sufferings all the time, doesn't talk about good things?
동아들의 타완데 여다서 캡성시에 열어왔어.
So of course, it talks about the suffering, but then also tells, okay, if you don't want to go through that suffering, then there is such thing called liberation from suffering also.
그러나 we don't say you are always black. The black become white. 그래서 딱 맞서마다 싸워요. 생각도 되기도 왔어. 대 맞서마다 싸워야를 맞서하고 그러. 맞서하고 하는 것도 싸워 소금 말아.
So if you know there's impurities in you, and then you will want to make it pure. Right? So if you didn't even know that you had an impurity in you, then you will not think about making it pure.
그러나 저랑서 둘러도 가디나 싸마 이 삼나 저 가디나 got laundry check marwa.
So just like if you think your cloth is clean, then you will not wash it, right? So if you keep thinking that no matter how dirty it is, but if you keep thinking it's okay, it's clean, then you will never wash it. But when you know it is dirty, then you will want to wash it.
There's ko soba yemba, soba de tsama so yoshine ganto tsama so ko tapshi garwa.
So in order to wash it, first you have to think it's dirty, right? If you don't think about it's dirty, and it's really dirty, but if you don't think it's dirty, then you will never think about washing it.
Okay, like that. And
so if you think in that way, then the way it is taught in Buddhism will make sense.
Okay? Okay, any other questions? Okay, yes.
No, there is a Buddhist teaching. Well, I mean, you achieve that. You achieve that at Parteka Buddha. You know Parteka Buddha? This is in English with the soldier realizer, right? So of course, it's by generating, the renunciation and entering into the path, and then eventually you achieve that. So yes, of course, it's all through the Dharma. Through the Dharma, through teaching, that you achieve that. You mean like after that you don't practice Dharma? Or?
But I thought with the Buddha that's when you're doing like your own teaching. Because without
Oh, I see.
That's
I'm just trying to clarify what that is.
No, there is a Dharma. There is a Dharma, but it's not taught by others. Taught by others. So solitary life is like solitary. So that's not at the beginning though. That's only at the end. When you're about to achieve the arhatship, the liberation of the Parteka Buddha, then at that time you don't depend. You just go into solitary and then go into meditation through your own practice and knowledge, and through your own knowledge and practice, and then you achieve the Parteka Buddha state. Yeah.
Okay? Yes.
So you described the first two scopes as like appetizers for the main course being the great scope. But obviously we have to continue to practice the lower scope. Like we really have to get renunciation through meditating on death and impermanence and karma and so it's just the idea of bodhicitta, we bring that into our practice to
Mama benen chewa mataba dong ye bena deda bena koale matuna ani yani yana chogowa yana ngado chogo tenda ta di dunga samni thobe sajo ko mato ko dasam rigres nan kowa jogo ndo techu samnan rig mares kowe dunga sam on kowe dunga samni kowe dunga tayaji da sajo ko mato ko samna jo japsares ran kowe 소소기 소소 동al 타도 셴 동al 타도 삼박해 봐라 소소 동al 타도 삼켜 봐라 소소 동아도 무슨 거래서
네 디저트는 디나시된 셴라요 삼고
소소 동아도 무슨니 다 셴라 되는 데다 그 근데 연자 다 장진이가 내려 마요 저 산적 거 같은 거 우선 아니 저 잡사로
Yes, of course those are very important. Those are very important. Without thinking about death and impermanence, you will not think about the next rebirth, next life, the life in the hell, the possibility of life in the hell and so forth. You will not think about that, right? So without thinking that, then you will not do the practice, to achieve liberation from there, and then liberation from the whole samsara in general. And then once you have that, then you apply that same idea, just like me, others, others also are going through that kind of same suffering, and then and others, so I can't just ignore them, I can't just neglect them, because they have been very kind to me. And therefore, I have to repay their kindness. In order to do that, I have to free them from sufferings too. So you see, it leads to that. Without that, there's no way you can have that first. Without thinking about your own suffering, there's no way you can think about others' suffering. No way you can think about liberating them from their suffering. So no way, So first, of course, that's right. So that's like that. That's why it's like the appetizer, give you more appetite to do the practice.
Okay?
Make sense?
Okay. Yes. small scopes is been a song dunga le tayak chet some tandigi. Telangi and small scopes. 다 계속 타바 팽음이야. 고와 타거든. 고외 동화 타고 좀 대단히 미름스 거세. 어디 나 계속을 맞지 고발 맞지 되던 분들 샘제도 산지 샘제 탐제 벤도를 산지 공부 타고 누구서만 돼 그럽스 거세.
So when we think about the sufferings in samsara, right? So that there is there are 3 higher realms and 3 lower realms. The 3 lower realms, they have a lot more suffering, like the hell, hungry ghosts, and animals. They have a lot more suffering. And so compared to human beings, compared to gods and demigods, in the hell and hungry ghosts and animals, they have a lot more suffering. So you don't want to be born there. So you want to, you just want to be free from that. And if I'm born as a human being, a god and demigod, I'm good enough. But I don't want to be born in the hell realm. I don't want to be born in the hungry ghost or animal. And so when you have that wish, with that thought, so you do the practice just to be free from those lower realms. That's called the small scope. Right? And then you say, okay, even if I'm born up in the upper realm, like as a human or a god or demigod, I still have a lot of sufferings. As a human beings, we have all these sufferings. And the gods and demigods, they have sufferings, and eventually they will have to die, and then they will be born again in the hell realm or wherever, So therefore, it's no matter where you are born in the entire cycle existence, whether it's lower realm or upper realm, there's a suffering. So I want to free myself from all these sufferings. So from the entire cycle existence, when you have that thought, that's the medium scope. And then say, oh, that's not good enough. It's not good enough for myself alone to be free from all the suffering. I want to help others because they have been very kind to me. Therefore, I want to help others to be free from their sufferings too. And for that, I have to achieve enlightenment first myself. And when you have that thought, then that's called the great scope.
Okay? Okay, thank you. Then you can stop. After mandala, after long prayers, can we read the prayer for the virtues beginning and end? Today, one of the, do you know Pat? I think her husband passed away.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know which Pat, one of the Pats.
Oh, Pat Venter.
I think her, I'm not sure exactly. Her, someone else. I think, yeah, her is the who teaches about the Reiki. Yeah.
Oh.
No, she's the I think the longer student, Kurukulla Center, right? I think maybe for Australia. Yeah, before Debra. Really? Yeah. I think her husband passed away just 3 days ago. Therefore, we're going to for dedicate for her husband. We're going to read beginning and page 103. The first mandala, then the long lap praise, then we do that.
Oh, page 1. Okay. So mandala, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Geshe left. The mandala, the request for the Lama to remain long, or would skip all that? Oh, long life prayers. Okay. Okay. Okay, long life prayers. Okay, so that'd be 43 and for Rinpoche. So, okay, 43 and 49. Okay. All right, so turn to page 39. Okay. Saji Peki Jushimeta Trari Rabling Ji Ni Degem Padi Sange Jingdu Mete Uar Gidra Konam Dag Jing La Chopa Page 43, short, long life prayer for His Holiness. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, made Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezi remain in life till samsara's end. Page 49, short, long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tub sung chang jing jong gong gelwei tenzin yom pelwei gunzo do portse chong sung kurwei le mon tudru pa dal zo tu je gundu japten show. And page, what did it say, page? Oh, 103, sorry, okay. Page 103. Page 103. Prayer for virtue in the beginning, middle, and end, okay. Okay. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. I make infinite prayers with pure higher intention to liberate beings from samsara. May these all come true through might of the powerful, sages and infallible 3 jewels of refuge. May I, in each and every life, never take birth in any abodes, feeling to realms of bad migrations, but attain human form with all the freedoms and endowments. From very birth, may I never cling to samsaric pleasure, but to gain liberation, strive with unrelenting enthusiasm to pursue pure lifestyle with renunciation. May no relation or possessions whatsoever obstruct my taking ordination, but may all conducive circumstances come together just as wished. Yea, may I never be stained by faults of natural or prescribed negativity, just as I've promised before the eyes of my abbot and master as long as I live. Relying on ethical purity, may I practice every vast and profound Mahayana teaching through many austerities for the sake of my mothers for countless eons. May I always be cared for by a low master whose mind is filled with scriptural knowledge and insight, whose faculties are peaceful, subdued, who's compassionate and tirelessly courageous, serving others' welfare. Like Sada Parudita's devotion, Dhammargata, may I well delight in my holy master, undeceitfully with body, life, and all possessions, never displeasing for even an instant. May I always be shown transcendent wisdom's meaning, just as it was taught to Sada Parudita, unpolluted by foul waters of misconception, profound and peaceful, devoid of elaboration. May I never be influenced by negative friends or virtuous spiritual guides who teach nihilistic or eternalistic views, external to what the Buddha intended. Hoisting the great sail of pure intention to free beings, blown by the winds of unslacking joyous effort, secure in the ship of study, thought, and meditation, may I free embodied beings from samsara's ocean. No matter how learned and especially generous, pure of morality and discriminating in wisdom, my mind should become thus superior, may I to equal extent be free of consequent pride. At the side of a self-reliant great master who reveals the meanings of all the texts, just as they are through the force of pure logic, may I listen insatiably to the infinite scriptures, day and night fully analyzing the meaning of what I've heard through well applying the 4 types of reasoning. May I dispel all doubts concerning those points thus considered through the discriminating awareness arisen from contemplation. When I gain definite certainty in the very profound teachings through the awareness arisen from contemplation, then with joyous effort, cutting clinging and attachment to this life, may I properly practice in isolation. When thus, through hearing, contemplation, and meditation, realizations the conqueror intended are born in my mind, may desire for lives clinging to samsaric states or for liberation never arise in my mind. Having a miserliness through a mind of detachment toward all possessed wealth, may I first gather beings into my circle with material generosity, then bring them satisfaction by teaching the Dharma. through renunciation up until enlightenment's attachment, may I always uphold the victory banner of liberation, never giving up even the slightest precept that I have received, even for the sake of my life. When seeing, hearing, or thinking of beings who beat, accuse, or humiliate me, free from anger, may I, in return, express their qualities and cultivate patience. By having completely abandoned the three types of laziness that prevent both attainment of virtues, not yet attained in further development, may I strive with joyous perseverance. Having abandoned quiescent states that on the whole cause cyclic rebirth, are devoid of the insight that subdues samsara, and are dry of the compassion that prevents passive peace, may I integrate the two. Having fully abandoned misconceived values, holding as supreme some made-up partial emptiness, out of fear of the ultimate nature of existence, may I realize all things primordial emptiness. Those with broken precepts, though looking like monks, who have lost pure morality through inconsideration, are fearless of actions despised by the body. May I yoke them to faultless ethical discipline. Whosoever has left the excellent way to engage in mistaken, distorted paths, influenced by negative friends or non-virtuous guides, may I easily set on paths praised by the conquerors. Having robbed fox-like mistaken teachers of their boldness, with my lion's roar of teaching, debate, and composition, then caring for them by whatever means will subdue them, may I uphold the victory banner of the undeclined teachings. Whenever I'm born, may I drink the ambrosia of Buddhist speech, and at that time have good family, form, wealth, power, and wisdom, and free from illness, a long and happy life. To those who always bear harmful intention toward my body, life, or possessions, and also to those who speak unpleasantly to me, may I especially be as loving as a mother. And then may I, before too long, having developed bodhicitta, which cherishes others more than self, and takes up the burden of freeing all beings, grant them the unexcelled state of enlightenment. Whoever sees or hears these prayers or thinks of them, may they as well be undiscouraged in accomplishing all the Bodhisattva's great and powerful prayers. Through force of offering this vast prayer made with the power of a pure, extraordinary wish, fully completing the perfection of prayer, may I fulfill hopes of all embodied beings. Wow. Nice. Mix them up, page 75. Big me tse wei te chen chen reis big dream me kempe wang po jam pel yang gang chen kepe sugen Tsongkhapa lo sandrape jabla sowa dem. Thank you, Geshe. Oh, okay. Oh, if you okay. Oh, it's been being okay. Go through the schedule for the week. Okay. Okay, for the week, tomorrow class with Sean. On Tuesday there will be from 7 to 8:30. On Wednesday, class with Geshe Tenley. And all right, and then about the chores. If anybody can stay a little longer, there's a list of chores that are laminated. They're on the board out there near the hallway to the exit. And if you're able to do any of them, we'd appreciate it. And put away all the cushions